G'day guys, it's JB with JB Adventures. Welcome back to another video. So if you watched last week's video, you know that we left you here at Three Ways. And don't worry, you haven't missed much because we're still here at Three Ways. It's a little bit warmer today, so I'm not sure how the car's going to go, but we've got a 650 kilometre drive to try and make it from here across the Queensland border and into Mount Isa. If you haven't already done so, guys, make sure you subscribe, turn on that notification button so you don't miss any of these videos. If we don't make it, you're going to be the only ones who know. That subscribe button is what's going to help us join that YouTube partnership program and be able to make an income from these videos. And by the time we make it back, if we make it back, that's going to be absolutely essential so that we can keep making these videos for you guys, because Dusty's definitely going to need a proper mechanic to get under that hood and fix the problems and all of my dodgy fixings as well. So, but all of that aside, guys, let's get into today's video.
Hey Emma, how do you like being back in Queensland? Well, I'm glad you asked.
See, we made it! Alright, you can't talk. So we made it to Queensland, only just. We're still not at Mount Isa yet. There's still a little bit of a drive to go to make it there. We'll probably shoot in there tomorrow at some point. Obviously this isn't where we started our trip, so go back and check it out. So you guys might have remembered on our way through here, originally I said I couldn't wait to get back to the Barclay Homestead. We finally made it back here and that couldn't be further from the truth. I'm hanging for a beer. We're gonna have a feed here as well. Pretty sure we've got to still push on later on tonight and try and make that Queensland border. It's another 250k from here. I've got to let the car cool down a bit. I refilled the coolant a couple of times on that trip so far. Stoked to be here. Can't express how happy I am right now. I'm gonna go in there, grab a decent feed, and then, yeah, I'll catch up with you guys in a second.
that Dusty made it back into Queensland. Love the fact that he made it. I did not want to be stuck in Northern Territory for too long. Although we are back in Queensland, I am really going to miss Northern Territory. The heat sucked. It sucked. Northern Territory is beautiful. I am actually going to miss the Northern Territory, but we are getting back there at one point. There's still a lot in Northern Territory we didn't get to do this time, and we still want to go over to Western Australia at one point, so keen to do that. But in the meantime, we're back in Queensland. Couldn't be happier.
Like I said, we're still not at Mount Isa. It's about 53k from here into Mount Isa. We're probably going to shoot in there tomorrow morning at some point and pick up, you know, the wipes and stuff like that. I think while Emma goes and does a little bit of shopping, I'm going to jump over and have a chat to a mechanic and try and figure out why Dusty is still drinking a heap of coolant. Temperature gauge is all right at the moment. It's still sitting around that halfway mark. I've got to put coolant in this thing about every 100k, so I'm hoping I haven't busted a condenser or something like that. So I'll go talk to the mechanic in the morning and find out what's going on there. For now, we made it to camp. We're going to chill here for a little bit and we'll see you guys in the morning. Guys, so we're back from town now. Obviously had to do a couple of boring things and just do some shopping, refill the water, get fuel, things like that. I also stopped in and had a chat to a mechanic about old Dusty here because he's still drinking a heap of coolant. Obviously, if you guys watched our last video, you know that we blew a radiator hose and got stuck in the middle of nowhere. We're still sort of limping on that problem at the moment. The radiator hose is fixed and we're not leaking any coolant, but the car is still drinking coolant, something chronic. From what I understand, there's two main reasons for that. One of them is going to be a blown head gasket. I had fingers crossed that whole way that that wasn't going to be the case, and the other one is that I could have cracked a cylinder head or my condenser could not be working. There's a few things it could be, all of which are not inexpensive. They cost a fortune to fix. So had a chat to him about what he thought the problems could be. Went through a little bit of a checklist and got back to camp here, and I'm currently going over the vehicle now trying to figure out what the problem is. Either way though, unfortunately it looks like we're going to be sitting here for another week or so before we can actually jump back on the road and start heading back towards the coast. We've got about 2,000k to go before we get back to the east coast of Queensland, which is where our home base and where our family and stuff lives. That'll give us a spot to be actually stop and go through the car properly and book it in with a mechanic. Talking to the mechanic in town here, he's booked up for the next 2 weeks, so even if I could go in there and get the car sorted with him, we'd be here for 2 weeks instead of just the 1 week. So either way, we're mildly stuck again. It's about a 50k drive from here into Mount Isa, which means every time I go in there and come back, it's 100k's that the car's driven, and that's not real great for Dusty at the moment because of this. It's not overheating, but it's just drinking a heap of coolant to keep it cool. So I mean, I could risk it to try and get that biscuit and just head home and keep refilling the coolant, but the chances are I'm going to end up overheating it and actually doing some really bad damage to it, and then I will be stuck and I won't be able to fix it. So like I said, we're going to be hanging around here for about another week, which is not the greatest thing. It does have a silver lining. Obviously last time we came through Mount Isa, Emma was super psyched to go and check out the fossil museum in town, and she didn't get to do so on the way up.
And I cannot wait to come back and have a look at the fossil centre and the lab in more detail.
So she's pretty keen to jump in there sometime this week and show you guys that. So make sure you stick around for next week's video when Emma takes you through the fossil museum. That place is pretty cool. I'm not even a massive fan of museums and stuff like that, but that place is awesome. So For now, that's going to be the end of the video. I've got to try and spend the next week figuring out how to get this car going a little bit more healthy. So until then, we'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to subscribe. It helps us out massively at the moment, guys. If we can get to that 1,000 subscriber limit, we'll be laughing. So we're almost there. We 100% appreciate your guys' support, and until next time, we'll see you out there.